Welcome to Hello Downtown, a podcast by Downtown Sioux Falls.
This is Hello Downtown, the podcast where we explore the people, the places, and the pulse of our city's core. I'm your host, Brandon Hansen, and every episode we dive into the stories shaping life in the heart of Sioux Falls. So whether you're downtown every day or just downtown at heart, let's jump in. Well, you're listening to Hello Downtown, and we are with Brittany Hansen, the program director of Forward Sioux Falls, and my wife.
Boom.
Boom. There it is. So I think what everybody really wants to know is, what are you getting your husband for his birthday?
Tickets to a show.
Okay.
We're going to see a comedian.
Yes, it wasn't a surprise.
No, you knew that. But
well,
you could have acted.
Yeah, that's true. But for listeners who may recognize the name Forward Sioux Falls, can you just describe it a little more? I think a lot of people maybe don't fully understand it. It's sort of this background character, if you will, that's supporting a lot of the community. But just describe Forward Sioux Falls and its role in shaping the long-term future of our entire community.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a tall order, but it's true. So yes, for almost 40 years, Forward Sioux Falls has been around, and it's officially a joint venture between the Greater Sioux Falls Chamber of Commerce and the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. But in short, what that means is we do a strategic plan every 5 years, things that are going to move our economy forward and make this a great place to live and work and raise a family. That's going to be our focus. And we redo that plan and do new strategies and prioritize different things every 5 years. This year, our next 5 years plan is economic development, talent and workforce, innovation and entrepreneurship, and advocacy and community enhancement. But yeah, it's big community priorities, measurable goals. And it's okay that we're in the background, but we've been the undertow for almost 40 years to diversify Sioux Falls and make sure that we can withstand any kind of thing that's happening in the economy and as well as, population and bringing people here and making this a great place to be.
I know you love the story of how Forward Sioux Falls started almost 40 years ago. It's a little bit of a dig at my hometown.
Yeah, it is.
Do you want to share that story?
I do. Yeah. So in the 1980s, I think people know this, Sioux Falls and Sioux City were about the same population. And now, almost 40 years later, we're 3 times their size. And it's very intentional. And a lot of it is due to the work of Forward Sioux Falls in bringing in different businesses. So one of the very first businesses to come in was Citibank. And that was when we first got the financial sector here. Then you look at our 2 healthcare systems. Every 5 years, every 10 years, you'll see different industries pop up here. And we want to make sure we have as many of them as we can. So for the next 5 years, we're going to focus on bioscience, cybersecurity and intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and logistics and distribution. Those have been identified as high-paying jobs that we can bring in, and they'll diversify our economy even more. So it's just very intentional, and we have a welcoming environment in Sioux Falls, and we want to keep it that way. And yeah, when we go back to your hometown, I want them to succeed, but they're also a perfect example right in our backyard of what happens if you don't do what Forward Sioux Falls does. No, if you don't do what Forward Sioux Falls intends to do.
Yeah. They have good bar food and good construction. And that's about it. Maybe not good. It's ongoing for 20 years. So, DTSF talks a lot about economic development and boosting the economy as well. Do you see DTSF and Forward Sioux Falls working together, separately? How do they intersect in our city?
For sure. I mean, downtown is the first impression of any city. And even when companies are looking to locate in an industrial park on the outskirts of town, they want to see a healthy downtown. So they'll come down here and they want to see that it's being invested in, because then that shows that it signals to them that the city is investing here and everywhere else. So it's just a really good sign of a healthy economy and a healthy city.
We're the eye candy is what I hear.
Yeah.
My wife said it. My wife said I'm the eye candy. It's good. So let's talk a little bit more in detail about some of the investment model really of Forward Sioux Falls. it's one of the things that makes Forward Sioux Falls unique is that it's powered by hundreds of investors across the community, including the city of Sioux Falls, in fact, all coming together for this common goal, these 5 pillars that you referenced. It sounds like those 5 pillars or 4 pillars stay the same over the course of time, but you've got different initiatives underneath of them.
Well said. Yep.
Yeah. And so as we head into, the next mayoral election cycle, lots of turnover at the city, why is this shared investment model so essential? Maybe just talk a little bit about the balance of the investors.
Yeah, we're really lucky to be one of the nation's most respected public-private economic development initiatives. And one of the things that makes us so unique is that in most communities, the makeup of the support or those investors is 75% public and 25% private dollars, which means that the city, the county, those ones are really the biggest voice. And in ours, it's exactly flipped. So ours is the opposite, in which only 20% of our funding comes from the public sector and 75% is private dollars, which means we're a little bit more nimble in answering to our investors, which is the private sector. It allows us to, bring together both the private and public sectors in setting those strategies, in aligning. So we use the analogy of a boat a lot. We're all rowing in the same direction. And this has been a really healthy model for Sioux Falls and actually nationwide. This is really used as a model and what other communities want. So it's unique. But the investors too, we answer to, right? So it's not just a give us your money and we'll hope for the best. We use very specific measures and outcomes to report back to those investors and the community at large on what exactly we're doing. So for example, our current campaign ends later this month. Exciting. And our goal within the last 5 years was to create 4,500 new jobs. We are tracking those. And I'm excited to share in a few weeks the actual final outcome. But I can tell you, even just last year's annual report shared that we had created 5,300 jobs out of the 4,500 goal.
Yeah. So I wanted you to join the podcast. Well, I like talking to you, obviously,
but nice.
We don't get to see each other very often.
It's true.
So this is a way to kind of build that in. But we have a mayoral forum coming up in less than 2 weeks now. It's March 24th, and we're going to bring on the 5 candidates that have qualified to be on the ballot. We just want to hear their perspective on certain things and make sure that, the heart of Sioux Falls is a priority and all of that. Why is it so important for Sioux Falls to have community-driven efforts like this community investment model that rise above elections?
Yeah. Well, we know that we have term limits. So we know that things are going to shift in administration and the priorities of the current might not be the priorities of the next. And so by having Forward Sioux Falls, and we really represent both, but primarily, we have that private sector piece, we can help guide these capital intensive transformational projects forward, even with those shifts that, again, we know are going to happen. And so with this next, administration and through your forum, I think it's important to hear what they think is important, but also not shift. If it's something the community has already decided and we've started down that path to have this project, that it can maintain the course. And so that's where we come in. We've been at the table a long time when it comes to these kind of projects. And so we'll be able to maintain that momentum through these transitions. And, those challenges and even opportunities, they don't stop and start every time a new administration does. And so we can be nimble with Forward Sioux Falls and we can move fast. But we also can play the long game, which of course is why we have 5-year plans. This stuff takes time. And so we can be patient as well when it comes to big projects. A few examples, we're nimble with the Riverline District. That needed a fast answer. We needed to figure out, if the city had to go through their process, but the chance was short. And so we were able to step in and help in that interim while they were going through their due process. Forward Sioux Falls stepped in. Another opportunity or example of us being patient will be the Sanford District, right? And being very intentional and not reactionary about what that next step looks like there. And so we've got both. We can be nimble and fast, and we can be patient. And so I think that makes us a really good partner to the city as well, no matter who's in that chair. And it allows us to also stick with those ambitious goals that the community has asked us to focus on.
Sure. Yeah. You gave a couple of really good examples of projects that Forward Sioux Falls is involved in. Riverline District, the closing on that land, and then now the Sanford District. Can you give some other examples just so people understand? I know you raise a lot of money as Forward Sioux Falls, a community-wide effort, but what are some tangible projects that Forward Sioux Falls has been involved in maybe in the last campaign that people could point to and say, oh, that's what Forward Sioux Falls is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk a lot in this community about Foundation Park, and that's about an 800 to 1,000 acre mega site that we can help use as product, right? I'm using air quotes, to attract different companies to locate here, create jobs, create that economic diversity. And so that would have never happened without Forward Sioux Falls, because it took a lot of money and a lot of time to acquire that many acres. And right now, when we talk about being patient, we expected it to take 15 years to fill that 800 to 1,000 acre site. It's already almost full. It's been only 10 years. And so our next plan, actually, for the next 5 years, by 2031, we'll have acquired another mega site. So another 800 to 1,000 acres, so that we have that product ready to attract more businesses here. So I think that that's a great example of something that never would have happened, and not everybody sees it all the time. But that's where those new residents are coming from. When we talk about the increase in 5,000 to 6,000 every year, that's why they're coming here, is new jobs. Without new jobs, why they would have no reason to really come here. And so that's not a really specific example, but a broader one of something that no one else is going to do that where we shine.
Makes sense.
Do you have one in mind, though?
No, I think Foundation Park was a great example. I think that really paints a good picture of just tangibly what does Forward Sioux Falls do. So I think that was a great example.
I'll have one quick other one. Sometimes we'll do some capital investments, right? Not programmatic, but more something that we can invest in right away, and then it'll grow on its own. And one of those would be the DSU cybersecurity building. So we were noticing on a talent workforce front that all of these high paying jobs coming out of DSU, they were leaving because there wasn't any work for those grads here. So they were going to the East and West Coast, but they were already here and they didn't mind our weather. I mean, those were already big wins. And so for us to invest in DSU cybersecurity, that new building that will create 400 plus cyber jobs, was a no-brainer. And again, it's that investment mentality, because we are able to plug in right away, and then now it'll grow. And hopefully that's a tipping point for that sector.
Yeah. And you guys are involved in other universities as well. And you've got, I think through the Development Foundation, there is an internship program. And so there's just like this whole thread of workforce and talent and all back to economic development and economic activity in our community. And, I think even your supervisor, Jeff Griffin, he's corrected me in the past and said, I've said a strong downtown is a strong city. He said, no, it's a strong region, which I think is such a great correction. But from your perspective, how does a strong, vibrant downtown influence our ability to attract visitors, talent, investment, and new opportunities for all people in Sioux Falls?
Yeah. I mean, it's so important to the whole region. We talk a lot in what we do, is because Sioux Falls is touching a lot of our neighboring cities and a lot of our neighboring communities. And so having a regional mindset is really important, and knowing that we need each other. And so when Sioux Falls wins, the region wins. But also when the region wins, Sioux Falls wins too. And so when we look at these other communities and know that, we're excited when they also land a big company to be in their backyard, and that still stimulates our economy here, and vice versa. And so that partnership is really important. And I think that mindset is becoming a little bit more of a reality and a normal talking point for different people, because we need each other. And when we visit other communities, like let's say Des Moines, you can learn a lot from them. And there you have different cities and county leadership, and they all are working in sync. And we have that to our advantage here in Sioux Falls, because people are used to getting on the boat and rowing the same direction. We're going to need a bigger boat though, because we are getting so many more regional efforts coming together. But downtown, there's no other downtown like Sioux Falls in our region. And so this is going to be the driver and the main hub for this area. And also you look at geographically too. I mean, Sioux Falls is the heart of the US. I mean, we're dead center. And so we're lucky to have so much to draw from as well.
A strong downtown Sioux Falls, a strong US.
Boom.
Wow.
Exciting.
That's exciting.
I really don't let us down now.
There you go. Well, you keep saying, you have this analogy about a boat. We're going to need a bigger boat. I think I've actually heard you even say a rising tide lifts all boats in some of your presentations, maybe a Rotary and a couple other places. It also just keeps coming up in regional economic development, but DTSF uses that analogy quite often as well. Just that we're all in this together, And so how do you see that philosophy reflected in the work that you do at Forward Sioux Falls?
Yeah, it's long been the sort of phrase for Forward Sioux Falls. And I like to use it in different ways too myself. Like you said, I've already used it in different ways. But yeah, it's just that all of us are contributing to and all of us are benefiting from collaboration. I also lately have been using the analogy, we're trying to grow the pie. And all of these businesses will get to fight for their bigger slice in 5 years because there'll be more customers, because there'll be more people, because there'll have been more jobs. And so both of those analogies really serve the purpose of us growing, being intentional about it, but benefiting everyone from it. I also know that when we talk about competition, fighting for those jobs, fighting for those new employees, all of that, fighting for that business, those customers, that's healthy and important because iron sharpens iron. So we'll put our competitive differences aside to collaborate, to be on the boat together. And then when that tide comes in, we're all going to be working to get those for those customers and those employees for ourselves, right? And that's what we want. I think that iron sharpens iron is another strong analogy for what we do.
Sure. So when Forward Sioux Falls is successful, then what does that success actually look like? Maybe beyond hitting the goal of the money, what does it look like for everyday Sioux Falls residents?
Yeah, we do have 5 specific big outcomes that we're tracking. But at the end of the day, what those lead to is a diversified economy so we can withstand any changes that are happening. It's high-paying jobs, creating new high-paying jobs that have, to be known as the place with opportunity, which we are known for. That's why we partner with so many of our local higher education institutions, is because this is where the opportunities are and they know that, but we want to just make sure that they come directly here once they graduate to our workforce, because it is our greatest limiting factor with our low unemployment rate. So new workforce, that's huge. Continued population and business growth. We're always tracking that. Startup Sioux Falls is a partner of ours. They execute, that startup economy is so important as well, that we have new budding businesses here. That's another factor that those companies looking to relocate look for. New investments in infrastructure is another real good marker. So our airport expansion and our airport's success in general is a huge indication for quality of life. And they're a big economic driver themselves. I mean, we talk a lot about passengers, but you think about the cargo out there as well. That's huge for us and makes us a great place to be. And it attracts talent too, right? So it's nice for our current quality of life, but it's a talent attraction. And when you think about larger headquartering companies, they need to be able to fly out to any of their other locations. We want it to be so easy to be headquartered here. And then I think finally, it's just having a community that is all aligned. That's what success looks like for us too. The individuals, the leaders, the public, the private sector, everyone is rowing that same direction again. So I think that's what success looks like too. So we can carry on for the next 5-year campaign and then the next.
Yes. I bet you can probably imagine what our lunch conversations and dinner conversations are like. It's our work lives blend so much into one another. And it's
It's cool though.
taking over. It's very cool.
We're passionate about what we do. I love all your questions because I'm like, is that what I've said at home? I wonder.
Is okay. So a little this or that for downtown, I think would be fun. Obviously, we come downtown all the time. We don't live downtown, but we certainly work and play downtown. And so, favorite coffee shop.
I love them all, and I like mixing it up. So I prefer because they all have featured seasonal drinks. So I like to try their seasonal
ones. It's March. What's your favorite one in March?
I don't know. I did do MASH. I'm participating in MASH Madness.
Good for you.
And I tried the almond cloud latte at Josiah's. So that was good. I have to get to a few more though.
Okay.
What's yours?
I think my top place is Queen City, although I always try to go there on Tuesday and they're closed on Tuesday.
I know.
And so I just am so mad at Mitch Jackson.
It gets me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite lunch spot?
Our wine bar's Panini's. Those are good. You?
Boy, favorite lunch spot. I do like BB Soul. It's relatively new. It's not really, I guess you probably can't call it new anymore.
James Beard Award.
For sure. Incredible chef and really good food. A little spicy right in the heart of
You like
Phillips.
the spicy stuff.
It's very good.
I'm a wimp.
Ideal date night.
Ooh,
So
this
we're
will be
getting a babysitter.
fun. Yeah, no, actually,
what's
I
your
want you
top
to
pick?
guess what my ideal date would be. Downtown.
Probably a pavilion Broadway show.
Yes, keep going.
Probably dinner at Mirabella's. Maybe not. A drink somewhere.
Yep.
Mirabella's has drinks. I don't know.
You're
giving
doing
me
great.
hand cues on an audio only podcast.
I know. I'm trying to help you look
Thank you.
like you're crushing it, but you gave yourself away. Yeah, that's
Well,
good.
it's hard to go wrong down here, but I don't know.
That's all
CH
good.
Patisserie.
Ooh, a little treat.
A macaroon.
I love it. I love a little treat.
Did I get it right?
That would be a great date. And yours would be just a really long, nice, uninterrupted dinner somewhere.
One place. Don't have to move around a lot.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And mine would be like, how many places can we go to
Yeah.
in one evening?
Yeah.
Opposites attract.
Any other this or that you have for me?
Do you like to walk or drive places down here?
I would prefer to walk. It is the most walkable district
Set
in
you up.
the region.
You're welcome. You're right.
I think if you went from one end to the other downtown, it'd take you 15 minutes of walking. It is a little more difficult on a very cold day, but it is such a beautiful downtown, incredibly safe. It's of course clean. We have this incredible ambassador program that's making sure this is just a destination for all people. But as I walk down the street, I get honked at because of all
Cat
the people that we know. No. It's really just an authentic community in downtown where people actually know each other and they actually want to work together and work alongside one another. And so it is difficult to even walk one block without being like honked at for people to say hello.
It's true.
It's really this little utopia down here.
Okay. So if there was one thing that if you had money was no object, what is one thing you would do downtown? But like there's no red tape. What's something you would change or add?
Yeah, I would redevelop the Wells Fargo building, which is not really the Wells Fargo building. Wells Fargo does not own it. It's somebody else. But that particular location is a pretty critical spot as far as the cross streets that it impacts. So 8th Street and Phillips Avenue, it connects all three sub-districts. So East Bank, Historic Downtown, and Uptown. And it really breaks up that walkability psychologically. Now, again, it's only a 15-minute walk if you do the whole thing. But for some reason, your brain tells you there's nothing going on. There's no active storefronts.
Do you care
no
what
retail. It is? Just active storefronts.
Okay.
It could be retail, it could be food, it could be beverage, it could be axe throwing, like I said. It's as long as there's full, lively first floor shops that you can see into and it's just inviting. You get Sculpture Walk coming down it. That would totally change the way that the foot traffic patterns happen. And
The U.S. Bank building is going to be fun.
it is
It's
going
going
to
to
be
be
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots going on down here, but it's fun to hear, the pipe dream.
Yeah. And then, the Sanford district was recently announced and having that all developed before I'm dead would be really cool. But
is that not crazy?
I don't
Like
think
no
it's
one
possible.
thought, I didn't think in my lifetime Smithfield or the prison. Both are happening.
Prison viaducts. We got all the transition in the city at once. And we've got several 100-year opportunities happening right now.
I know. It's insane. What a gift to be alive right now.
There you go. Thanks for coming on, though.
It's good to see you.
Hello Downtown.
Hello.
You are listening to Hello Downtown, a podcast by Downtown Sioux Falls Incorporated. I'm Brandon Hansen.
I'm Taryn Sietsema with Downtown Sioux Falls. Here is today's member moment. Hello, everyone. I am joined today by Serena Retta, who is the owner of Threads in downtown Sioux Falls at 8th and Railroad.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for taking time to come in today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Are you ready to get after it?
I think I am.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1.
Yeah.
Describe your business in 5 words or less.
Okay. I'm going to say a uniquely curated women's boutique.
Ooh, I love that.
Thank you.
That's a great answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Question number 2, this or that, Riverfest or Parade of Lights?
100% Parade of Lights for me.
Lights.
Yep.
Holiday girl.
I am the biggest holiday girl, and I lived 4 hours from a Parade of Lights growing up, but we made the drive every single year to the Parade of Lights growing up. And so it is the one event that I will not miss no matter what's going on.
Tradition.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
How about summer patio drinks or winter cozy cocktails?
This is going to be summer patio drinks. Yep.
Yep.
Have to be.
Especially in downtown.
Exactly. There's just nothing that beats it. Me and my husband go every single week and just sit out at least one evening. And yeah.
It's a good tradition too.
It is for sure. Yep.
Question number 3. What's your go-to downtown guilty pleasure? Coffee drink, snack, hidden gem, or a little routine that you can't resist?
Okay, so I have 2.
Yeah.
The North End Bakery and the Jones Building, their smoky mushroom sandwich. I mean, to me, possibly the best thing I've ever tasted. Nothing beats it.
Okay.
It is so any chance I get, any new person that comes to visit me, I'm like, I know where we're going. And then the second thing, I'm a big fan of a flavored matcha.
Yeah.
So anywhere that I can try a flavored matcha, I just love trying any and all. But I'm going to specifically say La Luna Cafe. They have some really good flavored matchas that I love.
2 things that I now have to try.
Yep, absolutely.
I love that.
Highly recommend.
Great. Okay. Number 4, if downtown Sioux Falls had a mascot, what would it be?
Okay. Hopefully this isn't like a cliche answer. It might be because
it's okay.
Okay. I'm going to say, okay. A river otter.
A river otter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
I was just trying to think something that would be like specific to downtown kind of, but not super typical. And I came up with a river otter.
Downtown.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. So river otter.
Love it. We get different questions, different answers every time. And it's really fun just to hear what people have to say.
I know. I'd like to hear some other people's answers. I'm like, that's a fun question.
Okay. Are you ready for your last question?
Yes.
All right. For people walking into your business for the first time, what's one key thing they should know about your business?
I would say that we just have a uniqueness to us that we encourage women to just step a little bit outside of their box and not so far that, you're going to buy something that you're never going to wear, but something that just pushes the envelope just a little bit to try something new and really express your personal style a little bit more than you would just with the typical things that you can usually find.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would say I can attest to that because every time I come in, I find something at Threads.
And we hear a lot like, I just, I don't know, this is different for me. And I'm like, that's sometimes a good thing. Like, just give it a try. It looks great. Like, if you like how it looks on you, just give it a try and you might end up, loving it.
I think that's such an overall, just thinking of downtown Sioux Falls and our shops and just businesses in general. I think there's such a uniqueness there.
Totally.
I think you're definitely in the right place.
Yep. I love it. Yes.
Well, thank you, Serena. I so appreciate you coming in today and sharing time with us. And thank you so much for being a valued member of Downtown Sioux Falls. We appreciate you and all that you do.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Yeah. Absolutely.
This is Hello Downtown.